Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm really excited today because I got my hands on the Meta Quest Pro. So, there's a lot of videos that we're going to be doing on this thing. Today is just the start of that journey. There's a lot of things to look into. This is just my unboxing experience and my first hands-on impressions of turning on the headset, seeing how it works, talking about the controllers and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I'm going to be doing a full review on this. I'm going to be doing a video comparing it to the Oculus Quest 2 because I do, of course, have an Oculus Quest 2. We'll do a video comparing both and the differences between both and what it's like. We'll be doing videos on like the top experiences you can expect to play on here if you want to show off the Quest Pro to your friends. What are those must-have experiences that show off what this thing can do? So there's a lot of future content that's coming with the Meta Quest Pro. That if you guys want to subscribe to this channel, make sure that you do, because a lot of stuff is happening even though this is launch day. Well, I got this on launch day. You guys will be seeing this the day after. But there's a lot of cool stuff already coming out already that I can't wait to get my hands on. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with my unboxing. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about before I open this box up is why did I get the Quest Pro when obviously my channel has been mostly VR gaming. So I do have a few reasons why I wanted to pick up the Quest Pro that kind of falls in line with me as a person and people who are in this like space. So my first reason is honestly, the first reason that came into my mind is obviously I need it for this channel. I need to cover it for you guys. I need to do videos for it, even though it's a really expensive headset. You know, I had to sell a few things in my collection. My old Quest 2, because we had two, obviously was an easy one to let go of. So I still have one Quest 2. And then a couple of other things that I got rid of. So I can actually have this for the channel, because this thing is obviously really expensive at $1,500. So, but I wanted to cover it for you guys because obviously we're in the VR space. I love VR, and obviously you see a lot of VR content from me. So I kind of want to have both experiences. I want to have the experience from the Quest 2, and then this experience, and then of course I also have a Vive Pro for PC VR that I also have as well, that I've done videos on and I still haven't used as well. So that was my first main reason, is for you guys, for this channel. My second reason is obviously probably their second market target, which is just being a VR enthusiast. So a lot of people have said this VR headset is obviously not for people who aren't businesses and stuff like that, because that's what it's geared towards. But for people like me who are just VR enthusiasts in general that want to see like all the new latest tech when it comes to VR because they're really passionate about it, this still falls in line with that, because in many ways, from everything I've heard, of course I haven't opened this yet, it's still better than the Quest 2 in almost every way. So yes, is it worth the cost at $1,500 just for those minor upgrades? Well, that's what we have to determine here on who this is for when I go through and do my review and everything. But as far as it being better than the Quest 2, I think everyone knows it's better. It's just how much better, and is that price worth it? Even though we're not the target market for gamers, you can still play games on this thing regardless. So those are my two main reasons why I still picked up the Quest Pro, even though it's not exactly my target. And to be honest, there's things I want to try on this that I've never tried before, as my third reason, and that's the fact that it's a lot smaller on your head and stuff like that means that watching movies and stuff should be a lot better of an experience with no God rays, and it just being a lot more comfortable to wear, which I can't wait to do. I love watching movies in big screen and all that kind of stuff. So that should be a much better experience as well that I can't wait to dive into. And then, of course, there's all the features of this thing that I'm really excited about. But that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and unbox this here together, shall we? Of course, this is the box here. You got the box here on the front, so a nice little purple splashy design with the Quest Pro. I have not seen this in person. I have not traveled to a Best Buy location to see what this looked like or anything, so I'm literally seeing this for the first time with my own eyes. I didn't get to go to a Best Buy location, and like I know some people did, and kind of get their hands-on impressions before it actually got in their hands. So I haven't done any demos or anything, so this is literally going to be first impressions of somebody who has Quest 2 in their hands and has played it all the time. And also, technically has an HTC Vive Pro 2 for PC, which will be interesting to see how that compares with those lenses too. So, let's go ahead and open this up here. So, I'm really surprised. Not like this is that big of a deal here as we put this here to the side. I'm a little bit surprised only in the sense that they're still going with this like cardboard box look, and like, I don't know, I feel like with this cardboard box look here, you guys can decide for yourself. Again, it's not a big deal, but it doesn't look as premium when you look at the cardboard, just because that's not what we visualize in our heads as premium. And when this headset costs $1,500, you expect it to be in a fancier box, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just talking to just talk out loud to you guys. But here it is. There is the headset that we have going on right here. First thing that happens when you open up the box, and here we are right here. We have the controllers right here in front of me. First time I'm seeing these. These are really interesting. They have a nice grip to them. They really form right into your hands. Obviously have a really nice feel to them right off the bat. Really nice black finish on them, of course, with the cameras and stuff. So you guys can see those right there. They're obviously attached right here with the cords already ready to go. And yeah, these feel really good. I'm excited to obviously get into VR and try this for the first time here. And then, of course, let's go ahead and leave the headset to last. Let's go ahead and grab the accessory boxes out of here. So we got this accessory box right here. If we push this over to the side here, we have the actual brick for the charger. So don't forget that obviously, and I'm sure I'll see it here eventually, that you actually have the charging base, because these are rechargeable now, so you don't need batteries for the controllers. Whether you like that or not is obviously up to you. But they are rechargeable now. And you can't replace the batteries, unfortunately, on those Quest controllers. But it does come with a charging dock to kind of charge everything all in a nice base, which you guys will see. And just taking the plastic off of this. This is the charger. It's really glossy black. It's matte black up here, but glossy on the side. So this is going to be a fingerprint magnet, that's for sure. So we'll leave that there to the side. Then we have the charging cable here. So we have the one for the headset that comes on one side here. If I just pull this out. Nothing special, of course, with this. This is just the cable. You can see it's a pretty good long length as far as the cable for the headset if you want to charge it. Or sorry, not for the headset, but for the base, for the charging base that goes with this plug I was just talking about here. So you just plug it in USB-C style here at the bottom, and then this plugs into the dock here that we'll take a look at. So we got that, and then of course we got the cable here. So this actually comes with one cable. So if you didn't have the dock or you wanted to charge your controllers for some reason, since the controllers have like a proprietary like charging spot, like if you look, I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but there's a little magnetic thing that kind of goes right here and then magnetize, so you can just kind of use that right there to charge it. If you don't have the base with you, you can still have this in like your book bag or something. It is weird that they only include one though, as opposed to two, because like it's annoying. What are you going to charge one controller at a time? That doesn't seem fun, but most of the time we're going to be using it on the dock. Then here we got a little cloth, of course, like we're all used to getting with these things to go ahead and keep your lenses clean. And then some pamphlets here with the instructions, which we'll leave here to the side. See if there is anything else in here. This little box right here that I almost threw to the side comes with the little nubs. So these are the little nubs that we have all seen before that you can kind of attach to the bottom of your controller. So you guys can take a look at that right there. They're just little nubs that you can use, like that you basically disconnect this little strap and put these nubs here at the bottom, and then you can kind of write in applications that allow you to write. Kind of feels like a stylus almost kind of thing. So we have that there. So it comes with two of those for your controllers. And I think that might be it for this box. Let's make sure that there's nothing else. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here, so we can go ahead and put this to the side. And here on this side, we got another little accessory here. So this is the cover for the headset for the front. It's like a silicone cover to cover like the glossiness on the front, so you don't get any scratches on it or anything like that. And then if we pull this up here, let's put the headset to the side here for a second. Here underneath is the magnetic base for these. So if we put this here to the side, this is the new base to charge everything, as you guys are looking at here. So you just kind of lay your controllers there, magnetically touching it, and then you lay your headset down right on top of it, so it magnetizes to it and then charges. So you guys can take a look at that there. And yeah, like I said, it keeps everything charged there. So we'll see, take a look at that a little bit later. And then here in the middle, we do have the visors that go on the side of the headset here. So when you're looking at the headset, you can actually just put this on the side and it magnetically attaches to the side. So you guys are taking a look at that now. So you can kind of block the light from the sides. However, these are the ones that it comes with that only block the left and the right side. If you wanted to block the whole entire thing, they do sell a $50 accessory that I do technically have pre-ordered. We see if I keep it. It comes in at the end of November, and that's supposed to block out all the light. But the early reports on that are saying that it still has some light bleed from the nose. So we'll have to see if I keep that or go a third-party accessory route instead. But these come in so you can kind of block the light on the side. So obviously this headset is meant to be used for mixed reality experiences, so they want you to be able to see your surrounding more than other headsets. But I'm glad that there's an option to block the light, because obviously I'm going to be using this headset for gaming as well, even if it's not its primary intention. So I believe that's everything in the unboxing here. So that should be everything, I believe. I don't see anything in this box. This box looks pretty empty. So yeah, I think we got everything covered as far as the unboxing here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to use this charging base that we just talked about before, and I'm actually going to go ahead and plug this in and let it fully charged, because I already know that a lot of people have been saying that this thing is not coming like charged either at all. The controllers are dying like in 5 minutes after unplugging it, or the headset's only coming out like 20% or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to let this fully charge so we don't waste our time here. And then I'm not going to put the headset on and do anything with it. I'm just going to put it on the charger for the next hour, hour and a half, how long it takes to charge, and then we'll come back and I'll have my first hands-on experience with it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just looking at it, and it does look really sleek and nice, but I'm not even going to put it on. I'm going to wait and let it charge so we can get the first hands-on experience right after this. All right, guys, we are back here, and everything is fully charged here with the controllers and the headset, so we are good to go. Again, I have not put this on. As you can see, I came back and put my contacts on because I wanted to see how this feels with contacts first as my first experience. It does work with glasses really well because obviously there's a lot of space there, but I like my contacts and my glasses are a little bit scratched up, so I wanted to get like the full visual experience without any distractions and stuff. And let's go ahead and put this on here for the first time. We got some stickers we need to remove here that just remind you not to use these in direct sunlight, which we should all know by now if you're going to use these outside, because I have before. Make sure the lenses don't touch the sun or you're going to ruin it. So there's a little dial here on the back that basically moves it. So you can go ahead and basically situate that the way you're supposed to. And this already looks fantastic. And I say that because I've obviously used the Quest a lot, and I know exactly what it looks like when there's God rays and stuff, and this is already looking really clear. But it is really weird that I'm talking to you guys on this camera right now, and it just, I can see everything from the outside, which is obviously a very interesting thing that we have going on here. Now, I'm going to obviously have to enter in the password here for my Wi-Fi, so I'll go ahead and do that here and come back. Alright, so I have successfully connected to my Wi-Fi here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit done. It's just walking, of course, through the setup process. Now it's just telling me how to adjust the wheel and stuff. The head should fit comfortably and secure around your head, and it's kind of pointing to this dial back here that I told you guys before. I'm telling you how to kind of fit the wheel into your head. Right now, this is really comfortable on my head. I could definitely tell you guys that. And then it says to adjust the depth of the wheel. So turn the wheel of your lenses if you feel too close or too far. So there's a dial right here that basically adjusts the lenses. So I just adjusted it all the way to the left essentially, and now I have the lenses basically pushed up right against my face as far as the lenses actually go. So we're going to go ahead and leave that as is there. It says adjust the space lensing. Adjust the lenses until the text on the screen is really clear. So basically in this headset you can actually move the lenses farther apart for your IPD, and the IPD is supposed to be from 55 to 75 according to Oculus, but it doesn't go that far in the settings here, so I'm wondering where they're getting that range from. But my IPD is 68. I see if I pull this all the way to the left, I see up to 71. And if I pull this all the way in, I see 60. Nothing close to 55, but maybe they just know that based on how clear this is and all that kind of stuff, and just going by that. But either way, I see 60 to, and I put it to 68, which is obviously what my eyes are, so this looks great. And man, the clarity of these lenses, just looking at the text on the screen right now, is kind of wild. So it says, for your safety, read the safety manual, only use indoors. Going through this little video here that you guys may have seen leak out before this. Acknowledging the safety requirements here. Preview what's new. Learn more about these exciting features while your headset prepares for a software update. So we've gotten to the part now where it's looking for a software update. Boost your productivity, multitask like a pro, and reach your goals. So it's showing you how to multitask. So these videos are pretty cool, especially for people who have never seen this before. Showing you being at a desk, and you're kind of sitting there with your 3 monitors and kind of being in other worlds, which is really cool. Like designing a home project together, collaborating with each other, like multitasking, like together around the table, which is obviously really cool. And then it's going to your avatar presentation here, where it's showing you designing your avatar by using just your hands and no controllers, picking how they're dressed, and then shooting the facial expressions, of course, that we all know this has built-in facial capture and eye trackings. And then it's a little bit of demo of Beat Saber there for a second, and showing how somebody comes in with their avatar on Beat Saber, and now they're over a cityscape. And now they're sitting, chilling with each other, watching a movie together. So really cool. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. MetaQuest mobile app. Use the mobile app to discover new apps, connect with people, and share your experience. Begin your headset up to then download the app to get ready for VR. So, update in progress. Put your device on the charging dock. Your headset will play a sound when the update is complete. Estimated time remaining is 3 minutes, so not bad. There's only 3 minutes left, so we're going to go ahead and let this update, and then we'll come back as soon as the update is done. Alright guys, so we're back here after the update just finished, so I can finally pair this with the app on the phone. So I'm just going to select the Quest Pro here on the app that is now showing up, and we're going to go ahead and pair it. It says pairing successful. Looks like the headset is refreshing here as it gets my profile. And then it gives me a little privacy notification. Here's what you can expect from using the Quest. By default, Meta only collects the data required for your Quest to work properly. Apps can't access images or videos of your surroundings without your permission. You can change your privacy settings anytime. Now, I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but I can tell you guys, just reading that text, I don't even need to move my head to move it. I'm just looking with my eye. And that is not something that's very easily done at all with the Quest, because it usually gets fuzzy and stuff in that usually. So it's really interesting how much easier this is to actually use. Or to read text right now, and how clear everything looks. But now my controllers are back after updating, so I'm hitting continue on this main menu. Share additional data to improve your MetaQuest. I will pass on sharing. And it's telling me to create a boundary for the time being. It's telling me to confirm the floor. It actually captured the floor perfectly. And this is my first time seeing pass-through here in color in this room right now. And it is pretty accurate as far as where everything is. I can see everything clearly, like everyone always says. But it is a grainy picture right now, and I don't know if that may improve with like different areas that I go to with light and stuff, but it is definitely a grainy image. In other words, like looking at a VCR tape or something like that. But the colors are there. I don't see any issues with the colors looking around. Every color is represented the way it should be, and I can see my controllers in my hand. I can see the recording of me and you guys talking. I can see my arcade machines, and I would be able to hit a button. I can see my phone in front of me right here. I can see the time on it, 10:15 right at the top. I would have to go this close if I actually want to be able to read a text, though. Pretty close, but the time I could easily read on the top if I wanted to see that. So, yeah, the color pass-through is really cool. It's much better than the Quest 2's ever been, and everything looks really good as far as the colors go, and it's a much better improvement than before. But it does have a grainy, almost like a grainy filter over everything, which is, I guess, what a lot of people said. And I accidentally hit reset there on the floor, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit continue. I'm going to switch to stationary for right now. Since obviously we are sitting, choose your home experience. Your home experience is in your launchpad into the world of the MetaQuest. You'll come to this place anytime you're not in the app. You can always update later in the settings. Fully immersive, choose a variety of virtual home environments. So now when you pop up the experience, when you put this headset on, it gives you the ability, do you want to be in your home environment when you start your Quest every time, like we're all used to doing and going in there and choosing our apps? Or do you want to be in mixed reality where you still see your real world in pass-through every time you turn the headset on or you come back to home after exiting an app? I'm going to do fully immersive because that's what I usually like. But it is cool that the option is there. It says you can change it later in the settings. It says device setup is complete, so we're going to go ahead and hit finish by hitting the Oculus button. And here we are at the main menu, and this is the new environment that they created for the Quest Pro specifically. What's really impressed me right now, and of course I have to play games and see it, of course I'm looking at the regular Oculus menu that I've always seen every single time, and even though this headset doesn't have that much higher of a resolution, it's a very small resolution bump from the Quest 2, I can easily tell that the text and just the crispness of everything with these lenses is far better than what the Quest 2 can do. Not only is there no God rays from anything, screen door effect, I can't tell at all in here, but the text is crystal clear. I can read it with no issues on the main menu, and everything just has a really sharpness to it. The colors on the main menu of the games that I'm looking at all look really, really nice. Like, this is a very... Anybody who's been using the Quest for a long time, as soon as you get to the main menu and you're looking at the colors and you're looking at the crispness of all the text and everything like that, this is going to be immediately noticeable to you as soon as you see this. So this is a really, really, obviously, first impression. I got to play some games and stuff, but this is a really good improvement as far as the sharpness and clarity. So I do want to grab these things right here just to see how they show up here. Because the blocking is really interesting. Like I told you guys, that you can see light coming from over here, and you can see light coming from the bottom, because this headset is meant to be done that way. But I do want to take this off here for a second, off my head, and kind of pop these in on both sides here. So they pop in magnetically, really easily on both sides, like you guys saw in the overview video. And I want to just see how much light is now let in with the included ones. So the light is now obviously completely blocked off from the side, and I can't see anything. And this soft silicone kind of material is obviously on my cheeks now. It does feel really nice right now. Of course, I got to see if it continues to feel nice, but it does feel really nice on my face right here, as you guys are looking at here. And yeah, it feels good, but I do see all the light from here out. So from what I heard, the accessory that I purchased for $50 that only comes out at the end of November from Oculus covers this portion of the area, so now you're not going to see any of this here. But apparently, like through the nose, you'll still see some light. So I may cancel that if a third party comes out beforehand. But this is really cool because I still get to see what's underneath me. So it's definitely interesting because I don't feel completely enclosed from the rest of the world, because I can take a look at my phone real quick and be like, oh, it's 10:19 real quick, and kind of see what's going on. But I think when I'm playing full games and I don't want to be like in that half step of doing mixed reality stuff, I still think I'm going to want everything covered just because I'm a gamer first and I want to be completely immersed. But obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that for a few weeks until that blocking comes in or until a third party comes in. But this is still really cool. I mean, once you're playing a game and you're just looking forward, the bottom light kind of escapes you. Especially if you're going to be in a dark room and you're just watching a video and stuff, this probably won't bother you at all. It's going to depend on the person. But so far, first impressions are clarity is fantastic. Colors are really good and popping off the screen. And everything just has a really rich and nice effect to it as far as how crispy everything is and the text. So really noticeable right off the bat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video here and I'm going to play a couple of experiences, see how the controllers feel so I can get an idea of what they feel like, and then come back to you guys and just tell you my final thoughts of these early impressions on what I think of how the controllers work and how they feel and all that kind of stuff as I play with it, and we'll come back here in a minute. Alright guys, we're back here after my 2 hours of playing different games and experiences on this headset, and I wanted to give you guys a breakdown of what I thought and what my first impressions are with this headset. You can see I'm obviously charging it right here, putting it back on there. I did kill the headset in about 2 hours or so, give or take. But it's hard to judge the battery. I'll have to do that in my full review as far as the headset goes, because it was doing updates in the beginning, and I know that takes more power and stuff like that. So like when all the updates were done, even though the headset was fully charged, I think I put the headset on to play games at 50%. So I didn't get like it wasn't fully charged, so I didn't play for that long as far as like really being in there. I think I played for about an hour and 15 or so, but I was like manipulating like the facial features and like the eye tracking stuff, all the things that use more battery. But so I'll have to be discovered in the full review as far as battery life. But I did want to talk about my first impressions on the games that I played and the headset itself. So first of all, using that headset for the games, we'll talk about at the end. But let's talk about the experiences I played first. So the first thing I pulled up here was Beat Saber, as you guys are looking at here. And I like Beat Saber. The reason I wanted to play this one first is because I wanted to check out two things. I wanted to see the tracking of the controllers, and I wanted to see the speakers that I see a lot of people talking about were better than the Quest 2. So when it comes to the speakers, I think why people think it sounds a little bit better than it does on Quest 2 is just because now the speakers are actually angled right next to your ear. Like it actually sits right here just because it's all built into the strap, as opposed to being like closer to the head. So it just fills your ears better. So so the sound was good. And I did think it sounded a little bit louder, possibly. I don't know how true that is, but it did sound a lot like fuller. But again, it could just be that it's closer to my ears. But the point is, it sounds better. Whether it's the drivers doing it or the positioning of the headset, I'm not 100% sure. But it definitely sounded better than my Quest 2. And I was pretty happy with the sound. Of course, I would still want... It's not going to replace if you have headphones or anything. I'd still want to use that instead if I'm playing something immersive, like Beat Saber with music or something like that, but it does do its job pretty well and better than the Quest 2 did. As far as the tracking goes on here on Beat Saber, like, I haven't gotten an S in a really, really long time. And when I played this game and I finished the song, I actually got an S ranking when I played. That tells you how great the tracking was. And I'm not kidding, I don't get S rankings that often. I'm not like a perfect Beat Saber player. I play on Expert, I don't play on Expert Plus. And it was kind of crazy how well the tracking worked. Like, I didn't lose tracking at all. You can put the tracking obviously behind your head and all that stuff, since it's self-tracked and has little microcomputers inside. So it's not relying on the headset to track you anymore. And it's just, the tracking is superb. I had no issues with Beat Saber. And for the first time so far in these early impressions, again, I only played I played 3 songs on Beat Saber. But so far, I would say that when I play on the Quest 2, there's sometimes in my head where I'm like, damn, I feel like I missed that note because something happened weird with the tracking or it wasn't fast enough. And never felt that feeling at all in the 3 songs that I played on Beat Saber. The controllers are definitely better tracked and just perform really well in Beat Saber. And then the haptics are definitely much improved. Granted, we'll have to wait for more games to actually take advantage of the true haptic feel, where they're actually doing specific things like for gaming. But you could tell that the haptics are improved just by playing Beat Saber because of the way that it feels when you're slicing the blocks. It has a more powerful and effective feel even on that, just with the controllers already. But it'll be interesting to see how people take advantage of the haptics as it goes along. But they definitely feel better and more powerful on the controllers already, even just playing Beat Saber how it's always been meant to be played before. Moving on from Beat Saber, the next thing I played was 11 Table Tennis. I also wanted to see how it worked because this is obviously the ultimate test of tracking stability when it comes to tracking and stuff like that, putting your hand in different spots and stuff with the tracking. And again, it was perfect on here as well. I had no issues with the tracking, never lost tracking, never had any weird glitches with my hand, never felt like I lost the serve because of it. Granted, the Quest 2 was already really, really good. Let's put that out there. The Quest 2 was never bad at tracking, but this is just the next level. And I feel like the Quest controllers, the Quest Pro controllers, might end up coming like the standard based on what I've seen so far as where they go forward with the way they want these things to be tracked. The next thing that I played after that is World. World is, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly because it's a long string of O's there. This is the first app that I use that actually combines mixed reality. So while I was playing the game, I was actually put into my home. So as soon as I launched the game here, as you can see, you kind of have like the map right in front of you where you're looking at the city and stuff, and then you're in your home environment, and then you can kind of go into an open lobby with people, and it was really trippy that I had these, when I first joined the lobby, I had all of these avatars essentially sitting in my living room, which was interesting in and of itself. Like, we were all just talking, and half the people had Quest Pros in there, so I saw their facial expressions because this app does support the meta avatars and the facial expressions and the eye tracking and stuff. And obviously you can't usually see it yourself because usually the facial tracking and the eye tracking is more for everyone else and what they perceive, not for you. So it was really cool to see other people who were using the Quest Pro, and you could see their facial expressions. They looked like they were way more alive with these avatars, way more than they've ever been before. And I can't wait to see this evolve more and more, especially when we get legs and stuff. I think that will take it to the next level. But it was definitely really cool to see the facial features, and just using that was my first mixed reality experience that I played. And like I said before, the pass-through feature itself and the quality of it is kind of like VCR quality. I think that's kind of where we are with pass-through. So it's a much better experience in the Quest 2, where I never used it on the Quest 2, and I never would have, especially because it was black and white. But here, since it's full color, and it's obviously a lot better, it's like 4 times as good as the resolution of the Quest 2. So you can tell the improvement is there. I can easily see my whole entire house when I walk around. Like, I'm not going to bump into anything. I will not bump into tables. Like, all of that is crystal clear. I could see my phone in my hand, and I can see the clock on it like I showed you guys before. However, if I want to read like small text in a text, I'll have to put it like this close. It's not really easy to read that way. But getting the general idea, and if there was a cup of coffee on the table and I wanted to grab it while I was working in VR, all that stuff works. But there is the grainy filter over the video, so it's not as clear as probably what a lot of people thought it was going to be. But I still think it's going to lend itself as the starting point of how great mixed reality apps are going to be, because this one that I played here was awesome. Having all the avatars in the room of mine, in the living room, all talking and looking at these worlds that we were looking at, and then we played some games and stuff of the game that I forget what the name of the game is in there, but basically trying to guess where you're located, where it shows you like a 360 image of where you are, and you have to like work together to find out where you are by looking at different pieces of the picture. All of that stuff was really cool. So I was really happy with this experience, and I can't wait to dive into this more. I love the way that there's a community hub that you kind of land in and talk to people, and it was really, really cool. So definitely check out Worlds if you haven't already. Really, really cool way to show off what mixed reality can do right off the bat, and also use the facial expressions and eye tracking right off the bat too. So really cool app right there. The next one that I turned on after that is when I went into Facebook Horizons. So Meta Horizons obviously is an app that I've used all the time. I do like the app, even though I do lend myself to liking some of the other ones more because there's more going on in them. But this has gotten steadily better and better than where it was, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. They're still improving it. And of course, I went in here. The first thing I saw, as you guys are looking at here, is looking in the mirror and finally being able to see myself with the facial expressions for the first time. Because, like I said in the previous app, you can only see everyone else's, but I never saw my own. So when you first launch Horizons and you see yourself in that mirror and you're making all these gestures and you're looking to the left with your eyes and you're looking to the right, you're looking down, all of these crazy things that you're doing in the app itself, and you actually see it happening. You see your mouth opening, you see all these facial expressions happening. It's really, really surreal and really, really cool. This is definitely going to change the game for social apps, and I'm a big social apps person. I love Meta Horizon Worlds. I love the other apps out there like Rec Room and stuff like that. I love just social games in general. I can't wait for Among Us because that's going to be a really social game. It's not going to obviously use facial features because the Among Us characters don't do that. But I just love social games in general, and this is really cool to see, and I can't wait for more apps to kind of get this integrated into their system, because right now I think the only one that you can really play is Meta Horizon Worlds right now. The other ones like Rec Room and stuff and don't have that ability yet, but I can't wait for them to add it. But it was a really cool and surreal experience to see all your facial expressions kind of happening in real time right in front of you. So those are the applications that I used so far while playing in the Quest 2. There's a lot more for me to explore in here, of course. This is just me scratching the surface of playing 4 different apps and stuff before the headset died on me when it was at 50%. But so far, my early impressions on this are... the visual quality, like I talked about, is a real big standout. As soon as I put the headset on, I feel like anybody who, as soon as they put the headset on, will immediately notice 2 things. One, how comfortable it is, because it's not pressed up against your face anymore. It's almost like the device is floating on your head, essentially, because you don't feel any pressure anywhere. So people are immediately going to notice that, and as soon as they get into their home environment, you're going to immediately notice how there's no God rays, there's no screen door effect, and how clear the text is, and how easy it is to read by just moving your eyes and you don't have to move your head, and just how good the colors are. Everything just has a much clearer look to it. Even though we don't have a much higher resolution on this device, it only really went up a tad, like really, really small numbers. But the fact that the pixel density is like 37% improvement from the Quest 2, you can tell that the pixel density, it's not always just about resolution, it's about the pixels also. And like I said, you can easily tell as soon as you go into your home environment that that's exactly what you're looking at here. It was really cool to see, and that really stood out as soon as you went in there. The tracking on the controllers, like I said, was fantastic and really easily noticeable. Loved it. The facial features and stuff already look like they're going to be awesome for social experiences, so I can't wait to see that. And the first mixed reality game that I played, like I talked about in Worlds, really impressed me. Even though I had the grainy, like I talked about Pass-Through being grainy, and stuff like that. Just having everything in color and having it look like your home environment should, and having a game overlaid in there still was awesome to be in. So it can hopefully improve from here via software updates. We know Meta has been able to do this, and Facebook has been able to do this with updates on the Quest 2. So maybe they'll improve this and keep going and going. Right now, it's not as high resolution as I thought with the static on the image, but it's still good enough for me to be able to enjoy myself in these new experiences that are coming out, like the Worlds one that I showed you here, and like other ones that I need to try. I can't wait to try Demio and see a board game on my table and see how that's going to look. So I got to obviously check that one out too, and look forward to all the ones I'm going to try in my review, here in a week or so. But love the headset so far. Again, I have to put it through its paces and really get involved, but comfort-wise, screen quality-wise, no God rays is fantastic. Oh, and you know what? I did forget something else that I tried that I got to stick here in the video. I did also try big screen VR right before the headset died. I only played it for like 5 minutes, but this headset is going to be a game changer for people who love watching movies in VR. Because I went in there and went into the 3D movie theater that they have in big screen VR for 5 minutes with other people. And maybe I'm not the pickiest person when it comes to blacks, but the blacks definitely look black to me. Like when the theater was black, the headset was black. Sure, it's not going to be as good as OLED black like it was on the Quest 1, but it's definitely a big improvement compared to the Quest 2 as far as it looking black. Like I wasn't looking at it being like, yeah, this looks great. No, it looked black. It wasn't pure dark black, but it was black. But I don't think a lot of people are going to be complaining about it. This is definitely an improvement over it. But just being in a headset that's this comfortable, and the fact that I was just sitting there and just watching this movie, and big screen hasn't even done anything specifically yet as far as an update, but everything just looks so clear. Like the lenses make everything watching a movie just that much better because there's no God rays in there like shining light from the angles of the lenses that you're dealing with. And the headset's so comfortable to wear, and everything just has a clearer look to it, and the movie looks fantastic and like that you're watching. And it was just a great 5-minute experience that I had on big screen that I almost forgot to share with you guys, but it looked freaking awesome. And this is going to be a game changer. I think this is going to be the primary headset where a lot of people do their media watching because it's more comfortable to wear, the screen's clearer, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that app was also fantastic as well. So far my early impressions of this headset are obviously really positive. I haven't had anything negative, but I do have to go through and play some more of the mixed reality games, play more with the pass-through, check out the battery life and see how it handles compared to what I used the Quest 2 when I had the Bobo strap with just changing batteries, how that's going to affect things. But so far, really, really happy with what I'm seeing so far. But I'll have a full review and a lot more content to come on this. So definitely make sure you guys subscribe to this video if you guys want to see more. And if you guys have any questions about anything I talked about here, or if you want to know something specific that you haven't heard other people talk about in their reviews or overviews and impressions and stuff, definitely leave those questions down below, and I'll definitely answer as many questions as possible right now. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with on this video is if you guys are thinking about spending $1,500 on this, my impressions are that it seems like most people are probably not going to, if you're just a straight up gamer and all you care about is games and you don't do anything else in VR but games, I feel like this is probably not going to be worth $1,500 to you. Yes, you're going to notice the screen clarity. Yes, the God rays are not going to be there, but that's a pretty big swing in price. But if you're a VR enthusiast who loves the Quest ecosystem, loves the games, loves social experiences, loves watching movies, and is perfectly fine with spending that amount of money to just get that much better of an experience, this is still, so far, a much better headset than the Quest 2 is. Or not a much better, but it's better in every category almost that I've seen so far than the Quest 2. But that doesn't mean that adds up to $1,500 worth of value, depending on who you are. I think if you're just playing games, like I said, it's probably not going to be something that you want to spend that much money on. You're probably going to be waiting for the Quest 3. But I think a lot of us who are kind of the prosumer, want to be at the cutting edge, want to see what's new, what's coming, what they're playing with, and we love social games and all that kind of stuff, and they're going to use these unique features and then get the benefit of seeing all the Quest games just in a higher in a higher pixel density and just clear with no God rays, are going to have a fun experience. Like, I already can tell that after using this, even for the short hour that I did, that I'm probably not going to want to go back to my Quest 2 because the screen clarity and the God rays are immediately going to put me off when I go back to it. That's kind of how I feel right now. But we'll talk more about that in my full review, but that's just my thought that I'll leave you guys with. If you guys have any questions, like I said, leave those questions down below, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Till next time.